Welcome to the channel, folks. Clunkers and Classics, where I have got quite the mess going on here. This is episode 3, first episode. Strip down the parts car. Although they both look like parts cars now. Both look like complete junk. Second episode, strip the quarter panels, roof, trunk, stuff off of this one. This is the one we're fixing up. I went over it quite a bit, so in the last videos. Don't want to repeat myself. Watch the last two, get you up to date. So what we're going to do on this episode is put the roof on. Roof off the gold car. I'm getting it prepped up right now. Last episode I went over how we're going to attach the front pillars. Welded in some metal here. We're going to set that on there and then weld her up solid. We're going to do this back end a little bit different. We're going to use mostly all that's on the roof. So we're going to cut this off right down about in here. And then we're going to get it so it sets on there. Other than that, this here should line up flush with this here. This back here, not quite sure of. May have to do some cutting. Problem is when you go to weld on a part, like say a quarter panel, you get a quarter panel, you think you have it all ready, and you set it up there. Well, no, we got to take it apart and cut a little bit more here or a little bit more there. Take it off, and grind a little bit more, get it nice and flush, put it back on there, set it up. Oh no, we got to do a little bit more. So you're on and off, on and off, on and off, which is no big deal. Can't do it to this. This takes at least 2 people to lift it up there and set it on there. So that's the problem I'm having, is without setting it on there, knowing exactly how it's going to fit, and not going to be able to be taking it off. I'm going to get a friend of mine over, lives down the road, when I'm ready. And we're both going to attempt to lift it up and set it on there. And then once it's on there, then that's it. Or, you know, I could probably lift it up and block up an area a couple inches and get a grinder in there and grind a, you know, 1/8 of an inch to make it sit flush. But most likely it's going to be very difficult. So I got to get it as close as I can to setting on there. And some I might cut a little bit too far, might cut a little bit not enough. Know what I mean? So I'm gonna have, that's the trouble I'm gonna be having, mainly in this area here. This area I think it'll be okay, but we got that area and this area here might be a little difficult. The back end on here, this is pretty flimsy. It's gonna be setting right on here, overlapping a little bit. We're just going to weld her in there. It can overlap, so this won't be no problem. It's just this little area and mainly this area. We got to have it set in flush. If it's sticking up too high, none of this is going to line up. Like I said, I might be able to put a little block. I think this back area here, I can put a couple of pieces of 2x4 and have the roof so it sets up an inch or 2 higher, and I can get at, and you know what I mean? So that's where I'm at now. Also, I could have taken that bracket off and welded it on, but I'm just going to weld it in. It's not going to be overlapped. These hinges are, these are going to be overlapped. That's one thing I got to grind. I got to grind these areas here. This is going to slide in, and did it have the 2 holes? I probably cut it off before the 2 holes, didn't I? Yeah. Well, it's going to line up where this metal meets that. That's where it's going to line up. Clamp it and weld it up. Okay. Now the back, we're just going to butt that. This is not going to line up when I set it down. So this, I can stick a little piece of wood there and cut this until it lines up. And how it's going to line up is with these holes here. Once them holes line up, that's it. And we can weld this up solid. So that's how I'm lining it up. Okay, so we're going to do that. Once that's lined up and on there, and weld it all up, which is going to take a while. Just went and got some welding wire and stuff. And then once that's welded up, then we're going to pour 15 all this area and stuff in here. It's all rusty. We may reinforce some areas. I don't think it's quite necessary. This area. But we'll get all that pour 15, and then we can start on the quarters, start lining them up. And once those are lined up, then we can weld them on there. Once that's done, put on the deck lid, which is no big deal, but then we'll start on the doors. So we got a ton of work to do. Don't know what we'll get done in this video. It'll just be 3 or 4 days worth of work. Probably be tomorrow before I get Tommy to come over. I don't know. Maybe later tonight or something. All you gotta do is spend 5 minutes with me, help me lift it up there. We'll set it up there. So yeah, just a ton of work. Mostly all labor. Yeah, so that's where we're at. Okay, well, let me cut all this up, and I guess when I come back, I'll have it ready to set on there, and I'll show it to you all set up. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, guys, here's what I did. It may not look very pretty, but this is where it's going in. So I cut it just a ½ inch above where I think it's going to go, and then I cut and bent all these out so it'll slide right in there. Like I said, I don't want to be taking it off 4 or 5 times. So yeah, same with that side. So I think that'll be okay. It'll slip down in there. I bang this flush and then weld it all the way around. Other than that, I think it's ready. Tommy's supposed to be on his way over. So we'll hopefully get it in. Okay, I'll be back. Well, guys, it's fixing to get dark. Heard a car. I thought maybe that was Tommy. It's been about 2 hours. I called Tommy, and so I'll give you $20 to come over here and help me lift on a roof. He's like, well, when? I said, well, whenever you're ready. And he said, okay, and hung up. I thought he was on his way over. He's only like 5 minutes away. But it's been 2 hours, so I don't know what the deal is. So anyway, I've been painting on some pour 15. Haven't got all of it, but most of the areas there. And over here, around the bumper. I still got to do that, but I never did sand it, scuff it. And all up in here. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can get that on by myself or not. I don't think I can. I was thinking of dog walking it on there, but I think this will be in the way. You know, get it over here and lean it up against it, and a couple inches at a time on each side, but I don't think I'll be able to. That thing's pretty heavy. 1977 metal is pretty thick. And it's got the underneath brace of the roof there too, so I don't know what I can do. Yeah, I got all this structure here. Well, anyway, I'll be back tomorrow. Okay, guys, it's next day, and Haven't heard from Tommy. He's kind of a flake. Known him for a long time, but every time I have him, he's always wanting work. Hey, you got any work? And the problem is he never finishes anything. I'll pay him to, like a transmission job, and he'll do half of it and then take off and never hear from him again. So, anyway, a guy just called wanting a fuel pump off an old Dodge pickup, and I told him, you can have it for free if you help me lift this roof on the car. He said, okay. So he'll be over tomorrow in the morning. So, just going over a few things. Took the Landau glass out of the old top, and we're going to scrape off all this urethane and window tint. But yeah, I wanted to keep that Landau deal there, and we'll glue that in after all the welding and everything's done. But yeah, can you see this dent here? I might as well fix this. It should pop out. I'm just gonna sand it down with 80 grit with my DA, this whole area, and we'll get the V-Vor spot welder out, see if it works. It worked great the first time. Second time it seemed, there was a comment saying it wasn't grounded right, but it was grounded. It's just that I think it was galvanized metal or something. But anyway, we'll get that deal, roll that out over here, and we'll give her a shot, see if we can pop that out of there, and just put a little bit of primer on there until we're finished, until we're ready to finish all the Bondo work on this. You know, it's gonna be all Bondo down here after quarters are welded on. There's a few little dents. I've been flipping it over on this deal here, and I got a couple little dents right in here. I think there's one up here somewhere. But anyway, no big deal. We're gonna sand this down the metal, put some rust neutralizer on that rust area, and then prime it all. But that'll be later. Okay, let me get this prepped and get the machine over here, and we'll attempt to pull that out. Okay guys, it's working pretty good. Said I cleaned it up. Do it a little bit more in here, a little bit there. But yeah, all you do is and then pull this. And just get this area, like I said, in here a little bit. Sorry for not showing you more of the work and stuff. It's just that it's too time consuming to set up tripods and camera angles and all that stuff, and it just takes the job 3-4 times longer than it should, and I just don't get paid the big bucks to do all that. So I kind of wanted the job done. I don't want to have it take 3 times as long. And I've tried it before. I've tripod and filmed doing a lot of other work, and the views don't change. So it's not like I make more money if I do that. But maybe in the future, if I start making more money, I can spend more time on the camera stuff. But let me just pop, and it's just a little job too. If I had to do a real big dent, I would, but I just set you on a tripod and do it. But it gets kind of boring watching, especially last time when this machine wasn't welding or sticking on that very good, but it seems to be now. It's just a little spot. But when we get to a bigger spot, I'll definitely show you more. Anyway, I'll be back. Okay guys, it pulled up pretty good. So for now, I'm just going to put a little primer on that. It's a lot easier to fix it now instead of once it's on the car, getting that standing up on the cowl or something, or on something and doing that. So yeah, there's a few dents, other dents on it, but we'll strip all the roof and everything later. But anyway, I think I'll clean up these windows and do some other stuff. I'll be back. Okay guys, next morning waiting probably be an hour or two before this guy gets here to help me lift the roof on. So I'm just trimming up. I just tacked off the quarter panel, so we're taking it off from the inner wheel well right now. Yeah, this was a patch all the way up to here somewhere. 10 years ago I put in a big patch because it was completely rotted out, and you can see this is supposed to go down to here. This is all rotted out. I don't know if I'm going to replace this piece. Not really necessary. I can get it off the parts car. But right now I'm just getting all the remnants of the quarter panel off. I need to take the wheel off, get it up on jack stand. But yeah, you can see this red part. That's where I did a pretty good job. I welded it on there really good. But yeah, you can see all the red maroon, just a used piece of metal. But see, this is the stuff that the GM puts in there. It's like caulking, and they put that in around there, and see some of it here. And anyway, that traps water and gets the rust bubbles coming out. That's why you get rust bubbles coming on the quarter panels. So all this inner wheel well has to be all ground down really good, rust treatment on it, and all that stuff before I weld on the new quarter panel. And anyway, yeah, this is the patch up to here, and then this is the original piece. Then it goes down here, and I had another big patch panel here. This has all been reworked. But see, this is where you get all them rust bubbles coming through. So we gotta get it so that doesn't come back through. Even though a new quarter panel would take years to come through, but we want to fix it semi-permanent. Okay, so yeah, then we gotta cut off this lip down here too. I think I made all this originally, but I think the wheel well will be okay. If not, we can cut patches of it out. This wheel well here, we can cut patches out of the parts car and weld it in, but don't really want to. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, that guy showed up, but he didn't show up till in the afternoon, but that's okay. We got it on there. He brought a buddy with him, and just traded him a fuel pump from an old 94 Dodge pickup. Okay, so obviously the holes open more in here, and not as much here, so it didn't even line up. But we just set the roof on there, and I said thanks. And then I had to slit this a little bit, make it fit in there. And then I had to get some vice grips there, and then hit it with a hammer and bang it down in there. So that's about right on both sides. And as far as the back, we got this lined up, and then the holes lined up, so it's square centered back here. You also got a center mark right here, little dip, so that lines up. So yeah, that's it. That's lined up front and back. So yeah, I had a little trouble getting these in there, but that's okay. We'll put that in later. We'll weld in that and the back, and that way the front and the back is even, and then this will just be wherever it's supposed to be. We'll do a little bit more cutting. But yeah, anyway, she's lined up now. Just have to do some grinding and welding. It's starting to kind of look like a car, but what we'll do is we'll get all this welded up, because I want to do some welding in here to get that in, So you weld along there and on the inside, because it's not a perfect position to get welds, but a bunch of welds on underneath here and the other side. Then we'll go to put the quarter on. I don't know if I showed this, that this piece of the wheel well is all rotted out. So we'll have to see if cut out a piece from the parts car and put on there, if it's any good. If not, we'll have to make something. But yeah, I put the quarter up a couple of times and trimmed it, so it's gonna fit really nice. But we're not gonna do that until we get the top welded on. Once the top's welded on, then we'll probably do this quarter first and the other quarter. Then once the quarters are on, well, actually once this is all welded on, we'll probably put the glass in it. Then the quarters. And leaving the door on to line up the quarters. And then after the quarters are on, we'll go with the door, check out these fenders, and we'll go from there. So it'll look pretty good with the quarters on there, but then we got to strip the doors and fenders and the hood and everything off the front end. I just didn't want to tear up the whole car down at once. You need something to line up. Okay, so yeah, I'm happy now. Had a couple of day delay, it felt like, trying to get that thing up there, but she's on there. And figured out it was the high pressure power steering line that blew. AutoZone has one, not in stock, but I can order it and get it the next day. So 22 bucks, not so bad. So need to do that mechanically wise. Yeah, then we'll start on this quarter panel and take that lip out and everything, cut that. Probably have to splice in some rusted metal. But anyway, I'm going to start grinding around here, and this is where we're going to weld it right along in there. And I'll be back. Okay guys, next day. Next morning. See all this morning dew on there? I didn't cover it up. I got a tarp, but I knew it wasn't going to rain, but see, this is the problem. This on bare metal is going to rust it. But anyway, fixing to weld up the front. There, I got the back all lined up. Welded it along here. Welded this up. I welded this one brace here. And got to do the other side. Kind of spot welded it up there in the middle. And ground down, gonna get this, fixing to weld all in there. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna weld up the back, weld up the front, and then we'll cut this a little bit better to fit and weld in the corners and the deals there. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, it's 11 in the morning, like 90, it's supposed to be like 94 today. So I gotta stop before I melt. Anyway, got this welded in and ground down. This one here, welded it in here. This piece to the quarter. Of course, all that piece there. This corner needs to be ground down. Both trunk deals there. And then this brace here. And I think that's it. So what I got left to do, I'll do it tonight before it gets dark, is to trim all this area here. Bang all this in and weld all that up solid, and then weld along here. See, she's not even moving now. So yeah, that on both sides, and then we're then I'm just using my cheap Harbor Freight flux core welder, so it looks kind of shitty. Plus it didn't set up there flush. I got the corners, held it up, but then the metal drooped down a little bit, so I just kind of filled it in. I'm just going to put some, that's all covered up anyway, but I may put a little seam sealer along there, but she's welded up good enough. So yeah, I got that done too. Okay, well, I'll see you back here tonight before it gets dark, and see if we can get the rest of this welded up. Then we can start prepping it for windshields. I'm gonna run out here in a little bit and get some I need to get a bunch of stuff, but some rust neutralizer to put on a few little areas. But yeah, we're gonna clean up the window frames and probably prime them, get them ready for the windows to put in. And got to put in the clips. I got the new clips, I'll show you. And then the urethane. And we'll put the front and back windows in after it's all welded up. And we'll go from there. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, it's next day. Kind of forgot where I left off, but I got it all welded in. And the roof there, all in here. It looks a little ugly all along there. It's got a rust hole there, but nobody's gonna see that. That's just gonna be all fixing to primer it and put some black paint over that. And then I slicked out the jam area, although that's gonna be covered too. But so yeah, I took a DA with 80 grit and went around all these edges here and sprayed some rust neutralizer on these corners, and fixing to put some primer on there, trying to get the window frames ready to put the clips in and then urethane the windows in. But yeah, I'm gonna prime and paint some black along there. Been digging out all that old weather stripping here. It has some I was going to show you that. You can see this factory seam sealer here. I just dug a little bit there because there was a little lifting, but I dug all this out here, so we're going to put a little bit more there. And then this factory seam sealer here, and then this all just lifted apart, so I put some rust neutralizer there. And I'll put some seam sealer along there and a little bit where these little cracks are. I don't want to dig all that out. Can't get a grinder in them corners. You can't. It'll be all right. Just seal it up so the water doesn't get in the cracks. Got this one about ready to weld. I haven't welded it yet. I haven't done this side yet. I'm trying to rush. Today's Father's Day, so I'm fixing to go over to my dad's here in a little bit, and I wanted to get this at least in primer. So yeah, ground all this down here, put some rust neutralizer in there, DA'd this down. So yeah, right now I'm fixing to put some primer around the edges. I wanted to put some flat black on this. Let me see if I can get this up. Some rust neutralizer down in little areas there. That's where the seam sealer or the urethane goes. Cleaned off the tag. 13 is silver metallic, upper, lower. AN7 is swivel bucket seats. 71N is firethorn red interior color. That is the second week of December was built. I forget what that was there, but anyway, these swivel buckets come in handy. Okay, well, let me blow this off and get some primer on it, and then I gotta head out. So probably be tomorrow. We'll get all these clips in and glue in. Well, I got to weld in that next, and then glue in the windows. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, next morning. Got all the window frames painted black. Got this all welded in. Black all down there. The other side, all up in here. All up in here. Painted this area that's gonna be showing. Painted that black. It's supposed to be red or the color of the car, but the cardboard type factory, well, I don't know if it's factory, but whatever they used was all warped. I'll probably just get a piece of cardboard, and I think I may have a set of new speakers, 6x9s. Last time I bought a set, I bought 2 sets. See this stuff here? It's all warped and shitty looking. There's actually 2 of them. So I'm gonna get something. Maybe that big box there, but I kind of got that as a shelf. I'll figure something out on that. And so I need to do that. Seal the side windows in. I reworked these little areas here smooth. That's where I welded in that patch on both sides. So I kind of painted it black on the inside and out. I'm gonna glue the windows in there. This car, like I said, is plain Jane. It don't have the chrome trim around it. All that's left on, that was from the gold car. On the black car, all that was left was a little chrome solid corner. And then I had stuck some chrome stick-on edge guard, but it didn't last. So I think I'll probably just leave it off. It would look nice chrome factory, but there's nothing good to use. Yeah, so anyway, you're gonna clean up the windows and get some urethane. Well, you put on the new clips. I'll show you them when I'm about ready to go. Put on new clips, urethane, and put the front and back windows in, that rear deck, package tray, speakers, these side windows, and then put the interior back together and the headliner. And I gotta figure out what I want to do with that headliner. It's supposed to have some type of cushion I showed earlier that was all, it's like a barrier, but it's all disintegrated, both of them on both cars. So whether I should put something up there or not before the headliner, or just put the headliner in there and the hell with it, but I don't know yet. So yeah, I'm gonna go up to the paint store. I said the first video of this still hasn't, it's scheduled for today here at 4 o'clock, about 4 hours from now. So I still haven't read any comments on this car yet. So I'm thinking silver, but we'll go look at it. The 78 Nova is a silver metallic. That's actually just what the GM color is called, silver metallic. But I got some a while back from my paint store. There isn't much left. There ain't enough to do the whole car or nothing, but that's what it's called, silver metallic, Nissan. I don't think they'll have any more. They don't have any good colors left. Like I said, they got in their back room, they got, I don't know, a 3-4 layer shelf, really long, full of the old Nissan full thing 2K urethane like that, and then synthetic, cheap synthetic. And they just got weird colors. They got one called a UPS brown, turquoise, stuff like that. But they don't have any good, you know, red, black, white, Good solid common colors. When I was there, it's been a couple of years since I bought that paint, but I bought that gallon of silver and the gallon of charcoalish metallic that I did the 69 Chevelle in right here. And I got them for, was it 30 bucks or 60 bucks a gallon? Something like that. Right now they're probably 300 a gallon. And he said he'll sell me any gallon for 60 bucks. Because it's old and they don't sell it. They don't advertise it. I don't know. I'm just hoping one day they don't throw it all out. I'd like to just go buy everything they got. Probably sell it on eBay and make a fortune. But anyway, I'll see if they got any silver. Because I don't want to pay 300 bucks for them to mix it up. If it's going to be too much, well, then I could always get some cheap silver acrylic off of eBay for, you know, 100 and something bucks. But I don't know if I want to risk it. See, metallics will fade out a lot faster than the solid color. So if I am going to paint it a metallic silver, I'd want a good paint on it. Like that silver paint's been on, we'll go look at it here real quick. That silver paint's been on that Nova for 2-3 years now. Took it on Hot Rod Power Tour 2 years ago, so I painted it before then, a while before then, so 2.5 years. I haven't washed it, waxed it, nothing. See, so it'll shine up. You wash it and it'll still be shiny. Of course, with metallics, you it gets a little bit splotchy painting it there, unless you got some really high pressure, and that's the only problem with painting metallics. But if it turns out this good, I'd be happy with it. I don't know, I could put some stripes or something on it. But yeah, I don't know guys, I still haven't made up my mind. But since I gotta go run around, do some errands, I might as well check, see if they got some silver paint. If they do, I might buy it, but I don't know. Okay, well, it's just another scorcher today. I'm about to melt, so I'm going in, and I'll be back later and probably attempt to put them windows in. Okay, we'll see you later. Okay guys, wanted to mention I don't think the gold car came with that trim because it wasn't a vinyl top. Remember this one? The black car was a half vinyl top. So I think that's why it had that trim around there to hold in the vinyl. So we'll just leave that off. Okay, just gathered all these clips. Okay, it takes these metal clips for the sides. Okay, and then it takes plastic clips. So I got a bag of metal clips, and it takes the plastic clips for up here. But these look to be too short. Look, just a hair, yeah, see, they're a hair too short. And I think that's the problem I had with, was it the 78 El Camino? When I ordered the clips, and they just weren't quite right. So I don't know if I can come up. I think this one here is good. I'll have to see. See if I can dig out enough good clips, because I need them on the top and the bottom. Is it the bottom ones too? This is the back window here. Or is that metal? Oh, that might be metal along the bottom. But I'll need enough plastic ones to do the top and then the top of the windshield. So let me get them rounded up anyway. But the metal ones look to be the same exact size. And like I said, they just clip in like this, and you got to put these in just like that, and that holds on the chrome. Yeah. So anyway, let me round that stuff up and I'll be back. Okay guys, next day. Okay, so I think these are galvanized. These little covers here, I mentioned before, held in by a couple of screws, and then the weather strip tracking goes in behind it. Okay, so you have to put them on there. So anyway, I cleaned all the black paint and crap off there, and put the new clips in. And I didn't use any of those new plastic ones because I think they're going to be too short. So I rounded up a whole bunch of used ones. They should be all right. You got to make sure of this because you can't, once the window's in there, you can't take them clips out and put in new ones. So you have to get it right. I messaged the cell. Well, they messaged me, oh, have you received the product? Are you happy with it? Can you leave positive feedback? I put, doesn't fit. They don't fit. The comparable list there says it fits 72 to 85 or something, I don't know. And I looked it up. Sure enough, it said 77 Malibu. No. Okay, so anyway, got all the clips in. Front, ready to go. Back, same thing, ready to go. What I have 4 of these plastic ones. I think one's cracked. But yeah, they're supposed to have plastic and then a metal one on the end. But anyway, got all them on there ready to go. Okay, I've cleaned up the back window here. We're going to use that one. I got 2 of them. The one's over there, it's tinted, but the tint's kind of crappy. So instead of scraping all that off and everything, cleaned up this one. It looks pretty good, no scratches or nothing. Now would be the time to tint it, but I'm not gonna tint it. I'd like to, but anyway, it's cleaned up, scraped off with a razor blade all the old crap, and ready to put on there. The side windows, same thing, cleaned them up. They're ready to urethane in there. Okay, I just got limited room, so I can't lay everything out. Still got to clean up the windshield. See all the old crap on the windshield. Once I get that back window in, I'll bring the windshield over here, clean it up, get it ready to put in there. So the goal is today to get the windshield in, back glass in, side glass in. I got this deck lid all sanded, ready to paint. I'm just going to paint everything black. I haven't been to the paint store yet to see if they got any silver. I doubt they do, and I'm a little bit afraid to. Because this compressors, it's okay painting and stuff, but like I said, with metallic, you got to really turn up the pressure and fan the paint in on the last couple of coats so it doesn't look all, so the metallics look even. That's the way I do it anyway. And I don't have that high a pressure to do that. So I'm a little bit leery of painting it silver. First video just posted. We're on the 3rd video now, but the first one just posted yesterday. Lucky I was a little ways ahead because this has been going on for a week now, this one, because a few days I didn't do much, Father's Day, and some stuff took longer than it expected, waiting for people to help me lift the roof on and all that stuff. So I feel like I've gotten behind on this. So lucky I had a few extra days. So anyway, I think I'm going to paint the jambs under the deck lid, under the hood. I'm just going to paint it all black. If I do decide to go silver or different color, I'll probably just leave everything, all the jambs and everything, black. Oh yeah, so anyway, the video posted yesterday, a whole bunch of comments. Yeah, most people say paint it back factory silver. I wouldn't mind. And then a few people still don't get it. Oh, how come you're cutting up the gold one? That was a builder. No, it wasn't a good builder. I've went over it I don't know how many times. And when I first bought it, I put it up, we took it for a test drive, drove it. I said, I'll take $2,500 for it. A bunch of people wanted it, but nobody was willing to give $2,500 for it. For a running, driving, complete car with a title. It's worth more to me that in parts, guys. Like I mentioned, I couldn't find a parts car for these. The only place that had a full parts car wanted $3,500 for it. I only paid $1,000 or $1,200 for the gold one, so it was well worth a parts car for this one. That's too plain Jane. It's way too plain Jane to be worth anything. It's going to be worth about half as much as this one, because it doesn't have tilt, doesn't have cruise, doesn't have buckets, console. You know, it's not a. But anyway, I decided that a year or so ago, because I took the engine transmission out for the 78 El Camino. So then it was destined to be a parts car, or if somebody wanted to buy it, to build it. But anyway, if you don't get it by now, you never will. You'll just have to wait till this is done. Although y'all haven't seen the rust and stuff in here and how we're fixing it, because that was the main thing. How rusty is it? Had to take it all apart to get it all coated and keep it from rusting in the future. So yeah, it'll be a decent car when it's all done. It'll last a long time. So, but anyway, if you don't get it by the end of the series, then I guess you'll never will get it. Okay, so I got a bunch of black paint left over from my black El Camino. Got this acrylic enamel cheap off eBay. There's still a bunch left. That's what I'm painting all the jambs with under the trunk. We'll probably do under the hood. We'll probably use that hood because I think that one's going to be too rusty. We'll get there. We're doing like half the car right now. We're doing the roof and the quarters and the back end and everything. Then we're going to get to the doors, and we're going to get to the fenders, although I think them fenders have been replaced. If that's the case, we'll probably leave them fenders on there. But we'll get to the firewall we'll get to. May have to take the fenders off anyway, because get at them door hinges. Anyway, we'll get there. We still got a ton of work to go, guys. Right now, I just want to get it weathered in there so it doesn't get rained on, and cats don't sleep inside of it and all that stuff. Okay, so I think that's all I wanted to go over with right now. I'm just going to attempt to get that glass in there. There's the urethane I buy off eBay. You go to buy this at the auto parts store. They're 25 bucks a tube. Well, you can get them on eBay for, I don't know what these were, 10 bucks, not even that. So anyway, I got 4. I like to really put it on there, because if you don't get it just perfect, you'll get leaks, wind noise and water leaks. So I usually put two deals around it, push it on there. These should have had it up. These got little guides on each end for the windshield to sit. So you set them on the guides, line this up, and plop it down. The back, I don't know what they use, but I'm going to get a couple little paint stir sticks and put them in there and give it a little bit of room there, and then we'll just eyeball it and get it the right length from the edge, even all the way around. Okay, so well, I'll be back when we put the glass in, and then we're going to paint all this jamb here. I got new trunk weather stripping coming. although I kind of saved not this one but the one off of the black car, off that hole here. That I'd replaced too, but didn't glue it in. Same with the roof rail weather stripping. But I didn't want to reuse it. It was 30 bucks for a new one. We'll just get a brand new one, because it's very important that this friggin' trunk does not leak. You can't be, especially when these cars sit around like this, you can't have the trunks getting water in them. So yeah, I'm going to paint all this black, and paint under the trunk black. There was something else. Oh, well, maybe not. I want to put on all this weather stripping and channel and all that too, so I may sand and paint this edge, but maybe not right now. Maybe we'll save that for next video. This video I want to at least get the glass and stuff on there, and then we'll have to end it, and we'll start another video. Next video we'll have get the quarters, patch up the wheel wells, put on new quarters, and get all that done. And then we'll continue on with the doors and all that stuff. I'll have to order the power window motors. Are not as cheap as they are for a Camaro. Camaros were 40 bucks for a pair. These are about 100. But I figure if I'm gonna have it all apart, switching all the regulators and stuff over, I might as well spend 100 bucks and get new motors. That way none of the windows get stuck up or down and pain in the ass. That's the other thing. This one's got power windows, power locks, all that stuff, whereas this is just wind up. So this car's got a way. Usually some cars it doesn't increase the value that much, but I think on this type of car it's going to increase the value quite a bit more than you would think, for having power windows, power locks, tilt, cruise, buckets, console, all that stuff, compared to plain Jane over there. So yeah, the doors, you know, one door here, be a lot easier. Just wind up windows. You don't have to worry about power windows doing that. But value wise, I think we're gonna have to spend the time and the money and switch it all over to power. Okay, so that's where we're at, guys. A little bit of rambling, but like I said, on these builds you got to go through everything, and I still go through everything and all that stuff, and some people still don't get it, but oh well. You just have to wait to the end, see the result, see what you think it's worth. Okay, well, let me get started here before the heat of the day. It's about 7:30 in the morning right now, and by 11 it's going to be blistering 90. I don't know, it's supposed to be 98 index yesterday. Anyway, right now the country's going through a heat wave. Hot Rod Power Tour just missed out on the heat wave, man. They had good weather, so it was actually a good weather, and you didn't need AC this year, same as last year. So yeah, kind of just that 2 years ago when it was 100 degrees, over 100 degrees every day, that's a little bit scary of planning for the next year, because you don't know. You don't know whether you're going to be fried sitting in your car or not. Anyway, guys, let me get started on this and I'll be back. Okay, guys, I got a couple of coats on the deck lid and the deck jamb hinges and stuff. Okay, got the back window in, side windows in. Once it dries, I'm going to take a little razor blade and cut all that. Same with the front here. But yeah, it's all in there, and I like to take like a putty knife type thing and smush all the urethane up on like that. Or you could take your finger and with a glove on and just get it all in there, so you don't even get a little pinhole or something, you'll have wind noise. So yeah, later on today when it's dry, I'm gonna clean all this stuff off and trim the stuff around there. But yeah, that's it. So yeah, later on today I'm gonna mount the deck lid, and okay, well, I'll see you later today. Okay guys, got the deck lid mounted on there. Just gotta wait for the weather stripping. Okay, I cleaned up the windows, urethane around there a little bit, but if I scrape this off, it's going to dig through the primer. So I'm going to wait till I strip the roof. So I started scraping it off, but so whenever I strip the roof down the middle and get ready to prime, I'll scrape all this off, all the edges. And I didn't notice it was all scratched here. See, it was tinted, so I guess the tint covered it up. It's just that I'm out in the boonies, so there ain't no place around that tints windows. I'd like to bring it out and get it tinted once I get all the right windows in there, door windows, and I don't know. That'll be later on down the road. But anyway, guys, I think I'll leave it at that. That's that next episode, quarter panels. We'll get the interior, make a package tray, see if I got some new speakers, put them in, put the headliner in, all the interior trim. I need to go down to O'Reilly's because they're the only ones I think that have interior paint. Whether they're gonna have Firethorn red, doubt it. But I gotta check. So next time I go into town, I'm gonna get that. If they don't have it, I have to order it off eBay. eBay's got it. I gotta go pick up the power steering hose. It's been ready for days, but I just can't keep going into town every day or twice a day or something. So once, twice a week, I'll go into town and do all the stuff I need to do. Okay, so like I said, tons more work to do, but next episode we'll cut out the little patches I need. Definitely need that little patch there on the wheel well. And we'll get the 2/4 on for sure next episode. Start on the interior. Then after that, we'll start on the doors and work our way forward. I said we're probably going to use that hood. We'll paint that underneath. Okay, well, stay tuned, guys. After this, I got see these lights here? I just love these lights. It's not the same company, but another company sent me some. They're in a box. I'm fixing to bring it out here and open it up. Anyway, I got the set of 5 like that. Whether they're gonna be smaller, bigger, I don't know, but I'm gonna fix and do put it together here and put it over on this area. So stay tuned for that, and I'll put a link and stuff in the description if you're interested in any shop lights. Like I said, I just love these lights here. I'm gonna turn them on. I still haven't hooked them up to a switch yet. I'm gonna hook all these up to switches, and just everything seems to be temporary. If I can do this with one hand. There. See? It lights up pretty good. And the reason I need new lights, like I mentioned before, these fluorescent lights burn out and you can't buy ballast resistors for them. So, instead of buying all new fluorescent lights. Anyway, they're a sponsor. I think they're pretty good lights, LEDs, and low power and all that stuff. So we're gonna set it up here, and I don't know how much stuff I'll have to move. This one I hooked up with string and some fence boards. I gotta see if I got any more to do that. But anyway, I'll do that next segment. But want to stick around to see that? If not, we'll see y'all next episode. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that stuff. We'll see y'all next episode. Okay guys, here's the light here. Light kit. Well packed. Come in 2 boxes. Okay, it's Hykoont Hexagon LED light. Okay, it's gonna be like that one. I don't know if it's gonna be as big, but it should be pretty much the same. I'm going to go by the instructions here, but looking by the connections, it looks like it'll hook up the same. So you can order these just 1, 2, 3, all the way up to, you ever watch Goon Squad? They got like 100 of these things. But anyway, best they could do is send me 5, which is fine. Okay, so these are all the deals. They just plug in like a, you know, Lego set or something. So let me, maybe I'll just do it outside here because I got a breeze. It's friggin' hot out still. No breeze in the shop. Okay, yeah, let me start putting this together and I'll let y'all know. There it is, guys. So simple a caveman could do it. Yeah, you just stick a T there wherever you want the cord. It's that white cord there, just plugs in. You can put it there or there or there, whichever corner. So we'll figure that out. And like I said, it needs a backing. So I'm gonna go in my wood pile here, see if I can. I think that works pretty good. That's been up there for a long time. How many pieces did I use? 1, 2, 3, 4. If I can find 4 pickets, I got 1. Let me go see if I can find some in my wood pile. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I'll round up 3 pickets. I cut this one here in half. So half there, half there. That should work. That's all I got on that one is 4. So you'll put it on that rafter and that one. I'll have to clear out some of this area here and get a step ladder in. And use my roll of string here. Okay, well, let me get it in here and hang it up, and I'll be back. Okay guys, there it is. Let me turn out the other lights. Okay, so I just got the cord there. I just plugged it into an outlet. But yeah, I'm gonna wire it into the switch. So when I turn on the switch for the other lights, like that, they'll come on. Anyway, I used some straps, ratchet straps I had laying around. That cord is pulling it down on that side. It's pretty even. It's about like that one. But yeah, I can adjust it and go up higher if I need to. I may, but anyway, it's getting late. Yeah, it's about the same size as this one. I think it's a different company though. I can't remember. But yeah, I'll put the link and whatever they give me in the description. See if there's a promo code, things like that. I don't know how much it is, but anyway, thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next video.